trouble again.
Whoa.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining us on Star Wars Total Rewatch, where we're totally rewatching Star Wars. We're doing cartoons now.
We're reliving the 80s.
It feels like it. Last time we were talking about stuff that happened in 1985, but we're gonna be in 85 for a while, so...
Takes me back to my
Still
childhood.
Stuck in 85.
Watching Star Wars cartoons Saturday morning.
Is that what you did?
Uh-huh.
If I were an older man, I may have done that.
You might be able to tell from our talk that we are all younger than the original Star Wars releases.
This is true.
You are barely an 80s kid.
I know, I just made it into the 80s, but that was after all of this was done.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of you guys, not even close.
No.
Nope.
Well, you're close, but that doesn't cut
No
it.
cigar.
No cigar. So there were two 80s Star Wars cartoons. There were the Droids, starring C-3PO and R2-D2, and there was Ewoks, starring a bunch of teddy bears.
Wicked and company.
Just when you thought you had enough of Ewok.
Oh, just wait, they're coming back. What I understand was... Never enough Ewoks.
We got 26 more episodes of Ewoks after Droids.
Cuddly and lovable.
My favorite.
I'm still waiting for the Porgs show.
Ooh, yeah. I'll be buying a subscription for that one.
That's what the public is demanding. Okay, so what I remember from reading about this a while ago was that the Droids and Ewoks were airing at the same time. Droids only went for one season, and Ewoks went for two. But the Droids, during that first season, they aired them as a Droid Ewok power hour kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. It was called the Ewoks and Droids Adventure Hour.
Yeah, when they first aired.
There you go. But we're doing Droids first because...
We need a break
We
from
need a
Ewoks.
mental-
break from
Yeah.
Ewoks, yeah. And because we didn't want to keep having to alternate episodes.
Exactly, because it would just throw off the whole timeline and what's happening in Droids and Ewoks, and it would just mess everything up.
Everything.
Is there a crossover episode?
Oh man, they should have.
The Return of the Jedi.
Right, the crossover already happened.
Right. They team up to take on the Empire.
So we really should watch all these first and then Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. So let's talk about where in the timeline this Droids cartoon is supposed to take place.
Takes place before Episode 6,
Okay.
before Return of the Jedi, because they do mention Jabba the Hutt in this.
Yeah, he was listed in a list of gang leaders.
So, how... That just seems odd. How did C-3PO and R2 end up out here?
Well, at the very beginning of this episode, I was trying to figure out their story. 3PO said something like they were lost in a game of chance to a smuggler, and then he dumped them with his garbage or his shipment or something.
Yeah, had some illegal cargo and had to dump it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm also wondering what planet they're supposed to be on. Was that mentioned?
I
I didn't
Should have
catch
been,
it.
but I don't think they said.
It seemed like a Tatooine type
It's a
place.
desert planet, but
It looked like there's that city they went to. Looked like that place Rey was from, like her city on Jakku.
yeah, I wonder.
This is Jakku, that's true. I don't know, wherever it is, it has corrosive acid salt.
And what's her name? That girl, Kia,
Yep.
was vaguely Rey looking, right?
The first time she shows up, she's got the
The electro binoculars.
Has that scarf?
goggles and stuff. Yeah, and a baklava. Is that what it's called?
Balaclava?
Balaclava.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And looks very much like Rey at the beginning of
Yeah.
Force Awakens.
I wonder if they got that idea from this cartoon.
And
There were a
she
few things.
fires a giant shoulder-mounted missile launcher.
Right, well, that's not the very first.
Just like in The Force
Yeah.
Awakens.
Oh
But
yeah.
it carries
Who
with
could
us.
forget Rey's moment with the rocket launcher?
So should we I suppose we should give a little summary of the episode. September 7th of 1985.
Well, yeah, maybe just about the cartoon itself, though.
Got some facts for us?
I don't know if I have a lot of facts, but
Star
I
Wars
just
It aired on ABC, so that's a neat fact, I guess.
and I think
It's a fact.
it's a fact.
And they
You're gonna say
actually
that
had
every time someone says a fact.
yes, and it was actually Anthony Daniels who voiced C-3PO as well. They actually got him to do it.
It's a fact.
That's a
That
fact.
is a
And
fact.
R2D2 as himself.
Yes, that's
It says
in the credits.
Same noises that we love.
When we did that Boba Fett cartoon in the holiday special, that was the same animation company, right?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah. So they're Nirvana.
I don't notice it that much. The one from the holiday special, all the characters are very exaggerated, like caricatures. This is different. This feels a lot more kind of standard 80s cartoon. But
He really does.
R2D2 moves the same way he did in the
Kinda
holiday
like
special cartoon. He
slinks
just
about,
kind of
wobbles.
wobbles around.
Yeah.
Very bendy, flexible for a droid.
C-3PO is definitely more flexible too, yeah.
Yeah, C-3PO was dodging lasers in that one. that one.
Yeah, but at least he has joints. R2 doesn't really have those joints. He just kind of is like a jello robot.
I don't think this entire series is available. Like, parts of it are. And it sounded like the Ewoks also, they released them on DVD as like a collection of episodes, but
I heard
it wasn't like the entire set for some reason. These are all available on YouTube. So, did you guys see the opening credits?
I did. They had their own theme song and everything. In Trouble Again.
In Trouble
Yeah, it was
Again.
pretty great.
It's catchy.
Oh, yeah.
Another fun
Very
fact: it was written by the drummer for the Police.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah,
that's a fact.
it's a fact. But it had that sound to it. The music in this is super 80s synthesizer.
Everything about this is
Everything
very
about
80s.
this.
It's
These
great.
characters have like their mohawk.
Mm-hmm.
So these are much more smaller, bite-sized. So these are all
Yeah.
episodes probably won't be that long about them because they're only like 24 minutes long, 22 minutes long a piece.
Right. Like, we've kind of got into this routine of having these, watching a 2-hour movie and then talking about it for at least an hour. But, like, most of what's out there is episodes of TV shows, like 25-minute cartoons. So, probably most of what we do will be slightly shorter episodes.
Little bite-sized episodes.
Oh,
You can cruise through.
So how did they end up here?
They just say a little line in the beginning saying that they came into the possession of a smuggler that was their master, and then they were dumped off there.
They just got dumped?
It started showing all that junk floating in space, and then
Yeah,
it
I
goes
was
to
gonna
them.
say
Like, did they just crash through the atmosphere?
So just like before A New Hope even?
I think so.
Okay,
I think
okay.
technically it's supposed to be, yeah.
Then it fits into the lore, you know. I need this to fit somehow.
Yeah, even if you take the prequels into account, I think it could still sort of fit.
Yeah.
We don't know what they were up to all the time.
Right. Well, at some point, usually the droids who get their memories wiped, I assume they both did, since like
Dunno.
episode 3. Sometime in between there.
It's standard procedure to wipe the droid's memory, otherwise it becomes corrupt and they go crazy.
And 3PO is lamenting the fact that they don't have a master. That's always an interesting question.
He brings that up a lot. He's in need of a master.
That's the whole purpose. The droids don't have any purpose without a master.
They seem pretty independent, but apparently he doesn't know what to do if he doesn't have
No,
someone.
yeah, just seeks out the next person, the first person he
be told
sees,
what
and he's
to
like,
do.
"Will you be
Right.
my master?"
And they're like, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're just walking in the desert, and some guy just pulls up in his land speeder and is like, cool, free droids.
Pretty much.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, they were excited, but also, like, C-3PO definitely takes Luke in as his master, like, very quickly.
Well, yeah, it's like they buy him, so he has to do what they tell him to do.
Yeah.
Did you say
But
Luke?
it seems more than that. He's just, like,
When Luke buys him,
R2's kind of just, like, he's obviously doing his own thing, but, like, C-3PO's all, like, oh, Master Luke,
right?
instantly.
Right. It's like maybe it's not every droid that needs that, because
Right.
R2 seems to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
In
he's
the movies
kind of
anyway,
he's
but
kind of still
yeah.
operating under his. He's got a mission to fulfill.
He was given an order, right? Previous.
You wouldn't give C-3PO a mission.
Nah, I wouldn't.
No.
Because he would just be like, "Hey, Luke, look at these plans. Somebody gave me these to me." He's loyal to a fault, I think.
He
Right.
talks too much.
Archie can think a few steps ahead. You're like the you've been reading those iRobot books. Like they're programmed, but they can kind of work around it. Right?
Oh, yeah.
They can break the laws.
They have ways of like reasoning around their laws. Yeah, the one I just finished, this one robot had set a like laser tripwire in front of this guy that would set off a bomb to kill him. So he wasn't killing him himself, but could potentially indirectly kill a person.
Wow.
Yep. And he also went insane. So it's like trying to say, if you were programmed a certain way, could you find ways to act freely?
So should we go through a summary first before we start talking about
Yeah,
things?
we keep getting sidetracked. What else happened?
Sure. Well, the story is mostly about these guys who have like a land speeder racing land speeder. There's some kind of mechanics, right? The White Witch is just a land speeder. It's nothing magical.
It's not.
No,
Jadis
it's not Char.
of Narnia.
What's her name?
Right.
There's no ravens.
Not the witch from Narnia, and also not the witch from the Ewok movies, famous from the Ewok films.
Well, there are witches in Star Wars. We know this.
Yeah.
But this is just his land speeder.
Just a land speeder.
Lame.
So there's
Apparently,
two guys.
it's the fastest ever.
Jobin.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah, Thal, Jobin, and Jord.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
And all they want to do is race, but they just like accidentally stumble upon some gang leader's secret hideout. That's really like their only connection to them.
They don't even stumble on the hideout. They stumble across a censored zone. Like they set off alarms apparently going across a little invisible line. Like they
Yeah, it's like they didn't even know anything, and then
Right, they could've
the
just let
bad
'em
guys
go.
are like, "Well, guess we gotta kill them."
Right.
Yeah, they know too much.
Yeah, it's like, well, you're just gonna give your own
It was
secret base away by trying to catch.
They
him.
did. They kidnapped him and
Right.
took him into
yeah,
their
that
base
was comical
and told
because
them.
they literally didn't know
everything.
anything until they basically showed them and told them everything. Like they wouldn't have learned a thing if they just left them alone.
We should continue the summary quick before we go.
I mean that's
about it though, right? And then
Yeah,
they
that's
really
escape
not
from the
much.
bad guys and go off to do their speeder race in probably the next episode.
Well, they also come across a girl who also helps them because,
Yeah.
She didn't have
The
much
bad
other
guys-
relevance.
well, she had a ship. That's pretty much all she was good for,
Okay.
I guess.
Oh, they're going off with her, aren't they?
Yeah.
In the ship.
And she helps them break into the place because the bad leader gang kidnaps one of the mechanic dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Why she helps them, I have no idea either.
They share a common enemy.
Goodwill.
She needed the mechanics to fix her ship so that she could leave.
Oh, you were paying more attention.
Really?
Apparently.
I missed a couple key lines that make the plot.
Yeah, I
Makes
guess.
sense.
I thought she just like was watching them and she's like, "Oh no, they're gonna cross the line. I better help them." And then the rest of the movie, she's just hanging out with them. Like
It's a cartoon, I guess.
I didn't realize it was that well thought out.
I was also wondering, is this the kind of show that's gonna like continue this plot?
Yeah,
I think it does.
This one
Okay.
has a continuing story.
Because I was wondering, I wasn't sure if it would just be like a series of individual stories.
It is kind of cool. That seems like not very common, especially for that
Yeah.
time. The Ewoks definitely doesn't. That's very episodic.
Okay.
Well, there are parts of it that are very much a kid's show, in that the characters tend to explain what they're doing. One of the speeder guys is being chased, and he's like, "Oh, I better bail out then." And then he
Right.
activates his
Yes.
inflata suit and bounces
Oh yeah,
away.
that was awesome. Just it's basically a big like I don't know what you'd call that, a big tube, but it like covers his entire shape and body, and he just kind of bounces around after he falls off.
The bad guys are kind of.
The little
They feel like really typical 80s
Rumbling.
cartoon.
Yep.
Yeah, calls the guy's name is Tig, and his sidekick keeps calling him Tiggy.
Don't call me Tiggy.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh my
That
goodness.
was great. I actually kind of enjoyed the cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly compared to the Ewok movies, this was way better. Maybe just because it was not serious and so short.
It's probably just because it was short.
I'm enjoying it. I'm curious to see what's coming.
To me, it was just kind of funny and goofy. There was nothing really that funny about the Ewoks.
When it tried to be funny, yeah.
They were just bad.
painful.
Yeah, it's entertaining.
Well, C-3PO is such an entertaining character.
Right. He's also bumbling around. And
just his antics are always so funny.
Yeah, I found myself enjoying this where I wouldn't say I enjoyed the other ones.
At the beginning, when he's pulling himself out of the dirt, he thinks R2 is destroyed, and he's saying all this nice stuff about him.
The classic C-3PO.
Yeah,
he's like, oh yeah, his poor friend.
Movies and cartoons too, but of course R2's there, and he beeps something, and C-3PO's like, well, I said no such thing.
Yeah, his voice is great too.
And it feels like Star Wars. At least it feels connected to their world a lot more than the Ewok stuff did.
I think it definitely feels a lot more like Star Wars.
Did you guys hear they were going to the Bunta speeder race?
Yeah, see, that's why I figured it wasn't on Tatooine.
So that's interesting.
They never mention Bunta in any of the movies previous to
the
prequel.
The Bunta Eve pod race.
Right, but in connection to Tatooine.
I mean, do you think some of the stuff they used later on to connect it, or do you think they consulted George Lucas and he had a lot of this planned out? I feel like there's even some of the Ewok things, weren't there some kind of connections or things they used later on, or maybe that was more just creatures?
I think they had ideas they liked and maybe tried them out here, and then when they had the chance to do more movies, they kind of just went back and picked things
the Bunta race or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, having a race. They probably just thought, oh yeah, that was a cool idea. Let's use that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were specifically trying to connect it all.
They opened up the big guide to Star Wars and said, oh, where do they have races? Oh, Bunta, of course.
Yeah.
We'll use that for the pod race.
Oh, and that guy has a lightsaber.
Oh yeah, that's right. He pulls that out of nowhere.
That was hilarious. I mean, there were a lot of lightsabers, I guess, around, but you never see anyone else randomly have one. But I feel like they're around enough that you could.
Right. It's possible.
So, just to make a comment again about the Ewoks thing, but to me, everything in this cartoon was felt like Star Wars for the most part. And the Ewoks thing, I don't know why they were throwing in things that just weren't Star Wars. What changed?
Real life animals and stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know, it's just what changed between those and this? I liked that this one, they had speeders and they throw in a lightsaber, but doesn't really matter. But the ships attacking them, everything about it seems like Star Wars.
Don't go too far outside of what we've already seen, already been established in the movie trilogy. But just, use those same elements just in different, interesting ways.
Well, I mean, I'm okay with them expanding the world a little bit, but they have to do it in a way that's
what I'm saying.
I don't know, at least matches the feeling of
these cool
what the rest of it has.
Beetle bug robots. I like those. I've never seen
just
those.
Flip over and
those
then
are kind of funny.
Are useless.
Yeah, they fall on their backs like cockroaches.
I don't know. I didn't feel like this felt super Star Wars to me. I mean, it looked kind of Star Wars-ish, and they mentioned Star Wars things, but didn't really feel...
You mean the Nintendo game?
Yeah. Didn't really feel like a Nintendo game.
And he says his lightsaber was just left behind in a speeder that he was supposed to fix or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Was that supposed to be he just took it off of Luke?
I don't know.
It's something Anakin would do. Young Anakin, he was just, Obi-Wan's gonna kill me.
Well, because it sounded like maybe some Jedi came through and maybe went off and got killed or something and never came back for his. I don't know. That doesn't really make sense, though, does it?
No, I feel like they just wanted him to have a lightsaber because it was Star Wars. And what's Star Wars without lightsabers?
It's kind of interesting to see a part of Star Wars that doesn't involve the Jedi. Just what's happening in other corners of the universe.
Well, what happened to Obi-Wan's lightsaber? Didn't he have one of his own?
Yeah, he had it. He kept it.
Yeah, and then...
He fought Vader with it.
Then Vader took it?
And then it fell on his robe.
Yeah.
Vader
took it for his collection.
Yeah, where was a Grievous scene of Darth Vader?
Vader's just got his coat full of
Spinning
them.
around.
Want to buy a lightsaber? Right, like
Yeah.
like in a dark alley
Yeah,
somewhere.
Don't buy lightsabers off us.
No, they could be defective. They come out the wrong end.
Or both ends.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, those are the good ones. But they need to be labeled somehow, so you know.
this end up. So what else happened of worth noting?
How much
They-
is there to say?
C-3PO somehow tricks some other droids into fighting each other or running into each other and exploding.
Yeah, he does. He does turn logic against the robots a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
The
It's good,
robots
quick
are
thinking.
the new stormtroopers in this. They're pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Well, they're robots, so you
Weak-
can be as
weak-minded.
violent as you want to them, and it's fine because they're robots.
Exactly.
The bad guys were kind of debating the merits of using droids for their work versus using people. Right?
Yep.
Because like the main bad guy here apparently is the son of like legendary,
Gang boss.
and so this kid's like trying to be the new generation, but is not good at
And he
it.
loves using droids.
Yeah, he thinks that's the way of the
Yeah,
future.
he only
And the other guys are telling him, no, you can't control droids. They can't think. You're right.
You were right.
Well, they get away at the end by like turning their sentry droids against
Right.
their own
Droids are
Against
just
their own-
really dumb.
what were they called? Droid destroyers?
destroyer droids.
Well, they weren't, but it was like, so my droid cruisers or something is what they sent after.
Yeah, the
Droidicas.
cruisers. I like this scene where C-3PO and the girl are in this control room in the enemy base, and then they get caught by some robots, and C-3PO is like, no, it's okay, I got this one. And he just grabs her like he takes her hostage. Well, that's quick
Yeah.
thinking.
She pretends that she's captured.
Why would C-3PO think to do that?
Yeah, he's a lot smarter in this one. Like in comparison to the movies, the movies is kind of dumb, and he's pretty sharp in these.
Like, how would his programming make him be like, oh, in a tight situation, I can pretend to take hostage my human master?
Yeah, it's probably not really the C-3PO we know, but I kind of liked it.
Yeah, it's for the show, too.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, like, if he's as useless as usual, I mean, what do you do with him?
Kind of hard to carry a show on that.
Right, if he's like one of the main characters,
Yeah, they've got to have some agency.
then he goes and dodges a bunch of bullets, agile, and
I liked that scene a lot. They're like, we need someone,
Yeah.
someone to go out there,
and it's like
You're
automatic
expensive.
C-3PO. Yeah.
and then he's just running around.
Well, and then he
Dodging
goes to the
lasers.
terminal, and he like, can't get on it or something, and then the droid like blows it up for him, and then there's a button just left, and he hits the button.
Right. All that was left of the terminal is a
All that's left
single
was the button that was
The
still
button that he
connected
needed.
and functioned. That was great.
It's
Yeah.
a good joke.
He dodges that sentry blast to destroy the terminal like quicker than Han digitally dodged Greedo's bullet.
Yeah.
Just slides out of the way.
That is a good point. Yeah,
Right. That's force speed.
it almost made me think if that was a re-released version and they edited it, maybe the first time he died and they thought it was too much.
Or Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan zipping away on that Federation ship.
Right. It's a standoff. Let's go.
Let's go.
Wait, what?
They really fly away in that scene.
In episode 1, there's a random part where they like zoom off screen. I can't tell if it's on purpose or not.
It's like force speed.
Like in Knights of the Republic.
Exactly. So they get away from... I guess they just run away from the droids that are blowing each other up. That's really... I mean, they really didn't have to leave.
Well, they wanted to take their speeder to the race.
I was thinking that they were fleeing the planet, but they
Oh,
really
right.
aren't. They're just on their way to their big race.
Well,
Oh yeah, they were leaving anyway.
Whose spaceship were they on? The girls?
I guess so.
Yeah, Kaya's spaceship. Because she said earlier that she had a ship that was
She
damaged.
did? Okay.
Right, she needed them to fix it.
And looks like she's maybe in the captain's chair.
Yeah.
That's how cartoons work. They're all
Right.
part of the team now.
She had nothing better to do than stand on a cliff and go want to help some random people.
The next episode is called Escape into Terror. That sounds a lot
lovely.
like a speeder race. I have no idea.
It's going to be a Bunta classic, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Some kind of classic.
Looking forward to that one. Next time, Escape
into Terror.
Ooh.
On Star Wars Total Rewatch.
Star Wars Droids.
Trouble again.
Trouble again.
Trouble again.
No.